Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Lunch and Learn, where we are exploring topics to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business in the areas of health, finances, relationships, and just overall satisfaction and well being. Today, we are talking about how you can charge top dollar for the valuable services that you provide while still being charitable to those that you want to help and perhaps simply don't have the money to pay you yet. So, if you've ever felt that you're diminishing yourself because you keep undercharging or just giving breaks, or if you feel guilty when you do charge full value and for people that just don't have the money yet, this is for you. Now, I know some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Larissa McCooch, author of Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, Discover the Secrets to More Time, Money, and Freedom, and Master Results Coach and CEO of Abundance Academy, where we help professional women whose external results tell the world they're super successful, but on the inside, they are destined for more. They know there's something missing. So I help them stop holding themselves back so they can go after their dreams and radically expand their income, loving themselves, loving their business, and creating absolute magic in their lives, because magic is just a really, really good thing. So I would love to know where you are coming in from. And if you're tuning in by replay, then type in replay in the chat. So, oh, there's my chat. I'm finding my chat button. So type in replay in the chat, just so I know who you are, where you're from, and my team and I can welcome you. I truly do appreciate you and your presence. Now, I remember when I first started my business, I wanted to make things work for everyone in every regard. And I didn't really think about, I used to think about what some of the clients could afford versus what I actually needed to charge in order to make things viable for me. And it was really, really frustrating because I would take on my own paradigms about what I thought was reasonable, and it wasn't sustainable. And I remember at one point, my husband sat me down and said, Larissa, you actually have to double this. And one of my rates, and I almost fell over. I'm just like, well, what if people won't pay it? What if people won't afford it? What if they can't do something with it? And he said, but you can't afford to keep running things the way you are. And when I realized that he was right, he was right. And what happened was people paid. It was a miracle. And they seemed to find the money. We wanted to make, when we had my son, we also wanted to teach him responsible relationships with money, because I realized that I'd been really frustrated because I was taking on some of my old paradigms and scarcity mindset from childhood. And when we had our son, I did not want to translate a lot of that scarcity thinking onto him. So I said, okay, I want you to have a healthy relationship with money. This is something I really firmly believe that everybody should do. We have an entire training that I worked and guided my clients through to create a healthy relationship with money. And one of the things that we started doing with him was money jars. And so my son, I'll show you in a sec, he's got these 6 money jars. This is, the bottom one is just where he puts his money until he splits it into the 5 other jars. So he's got one jar to split into other jars. And then what he puts his money into is he takes 10% or he takes 20% of his money, puts it into the financial freedom jar. This is where he has his long-term investments. He's actually got some silver. He's saving for gold. He can't wait to buy some gold. So those are investments like real estate, big long-term things. Long-term savings for spending. So he loves to save for Lego sets and big $100 stuffies. I don't know why, but it's his thing. He gets to save for whatever he wants. Giving. This is it's so important to focus on giving, because if you just take, that's not balancing things in terms of energetic alignment, education, so that you can keep feeding your mind, your body, your soul, and fun. He's very good at spending this one very, very frequently. You've got to blow this one every month. But what I want to point out is this giving jar. And we were pretty good with the giving jars, or with all of his money jars. And we, over time, started teaching him what each jar is about. And this past year, we realized you have a lot of money in your giving jar, and we've never really done a lot with it. And so we wanted to focus on the giving side of things, because he puts his money away and he says, there's all this money, why don't we just buy another Lego set for me? I'm like, that's not what it's for. So we talked about what giving is, what tithing is, what generosity is. And he decided that he wanted to give his money in two primary ways. So first, there's a lot of street people that beg for money in one area of our neighborhood. So down at Bathurst and St. Clair, if you're in the Toronto area, there's a lot of people that are in need. And so we often give money, and he's seen us do that to different people, not all the time, but at certain circumstances. If we feel compelled, then my husband and I will donate some money to them. And so he's like, I want to give money to those poor people that sit and ask for money. Okay. And so he went and he gave some of the money a couple, or probably about a month or two ago. And then he felt really good about that. We talked about it. And what was really interesting is that there were some that he felt compelled to give to, and others he's like, I don't want to give them money. Like, and he may or may not have known why. However, he made a deliberate choice, and he could feel that there were certain people he was pulled and drawn to giving to, and others that he wasn't. Okay, there was an energetic alignment. Also, we went to a concert. It was a fundraising concert where they were raising money for an important charitable cause. And we talked about what this concert was for, and he enjoyed the concert. It was a great concert. And he also decided that he wanted to give $100 to this charitable cause. And so he gave $100 cash of his own little money to this cause from his giving jar. It had accumulated over time. And that was really empowering for him to be able to do that, because he knew that other people were in need and other people were struggling, and he was able to really make that link. So it was such an empowering thing for him to do, because he had saved the money over time from money he earned, from money that he was gifted and given. And it's not just all for toys. It's not just all for candy. He really does get to be purposeful with his money. And I think that's really what makes the world go round. So why am I sharing this with you? Giving is a powerful thing, and so is receiving. And when you really understand how to generously give and graciously receive, you start to learn how the world works and how energy works, and elevate yourself, your alignment, and start to rise to new heights. So would you like to actually let go of that heavy bag of guilt when you want to help people, but they just don't have the money to pay you? Do you want to hear the voices of self-doubt and self-sabotage disappear because you no longer undercharge and undermine your services and what you're actually worth? And can you imagine being happier, healthier, wealthier, and more aligned than ever before? Because that's what today's all about. Okay, how to work with the structure and flow of your giving and receiving. Now, what you need to know is money is energy. And I would write that down. Okay, write that down. Money is energy. Money is an amplifier of who you are and what you stand for and how you operate. So let's say if you have a clean mindset, if you have clean systems, the money in your life will flow cleanly. If you have a downward spiral, if you have negative thoughts, if things are not working out for you, you're going to find money starts to escape you. And even if you do accumulate it, you're never going to feel good about it. Now, if you have an elevated and elated and aligned mindset, you know what's going to happen is you're going to attract more and more. And let's say you lose it all. You know what? You attract it back, and it keeps coming back to you. You're going to be a magnet for the good you desire. Now, sometimes we try to be a magician and predict everything with absolute certainty, but we can't predict how everything's going to work. We just know it will. A big part of that is alignment. So there is something called the law of compensation, and it states that your income is in direct proportion to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. So if you're really good at what you do, and I'm assuming you're really good at what you do, and if you're not really good yet, I hope you're working to get really, really good, because you should charge accordingly. So if you're brand new, you don't have to charge top rates. However, you can elevate your status, you can elevate your value, so you know that what you're doing will help your clients get a massive, massive result and a massive shift in their lives. So your job is essentially to get really good at what you do. When you are really good at what you do, you should charge for it accordingly, because profit is the first order of business. And if you can't afford to run your business, you won't be able to continue. Bottom line, my husband pointed that out to me, and he was right. He's a smart man. Now, this is a belief system you must adopt and be okay with if you're in business, if you want to make an impact. Like, you actually have to believe it's okay to charge, it's okay to earn money. And in some cases, that's just a normal, regular thing. You might be like, why are you even bringing this up? Well, I know for a fact that there are many people in business that feel guilty even charging, that feel guilty asking for money, that feel bad asking for the sale. And if you feel bad about that side of things, then you're never going to be able to have that life that you dream and desire. You must let your clients give to you. And sometimes we want to be generous and we want to be giving and we want to give. However, in order to give, you must be an excellent receiver. It's a crucial part of the cycle. If you make a figure eight with your hand, you give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. And it's a cycle. It keeps going and going and going. And you might think you want to do everything for free. However, if you just do everything for free, you're actually depriving your consumer of the gift to pay and value what you do. They will never get the same level of result, because when they pay attention. When they pay and it's itchy, it hurts a little bit, they will actually get a result. Why? Because they're willing to make the commitment, whereas otherwise they might have cheated, they might have not followed through. But when they make a commitment that's bigger, that's more strong, that's more intense than they ever have before, they rise to the occasion. They're willing to overcome the discomfort and actually get the result they came for. So it's really about you getting to help them align their energy. So it's okay if things are uncomfortable, if your services are difficult for people to purchase, because they will actually value them when they put their money into them. This is really huge when it helps to helping them get the outcome that they are looking for, that they came for. Now, on occasion, you're going to run across people that you'd love to help and work with and just simply don't have access to the funds at the time. And if they could find a way to get them, that would be the most empowering to them, because that's actually a lesson in and of itself. However, if you do want to gift them an opportunity without feeling like you're cheapening what you do, help them in the form of tithing. If you'd like to gift people an opportunity to work with you without cheapening what you do, help them in the form of tithing. So this is something you should do anyway. Tithing is an intrinsically spiritual concept where you give to your church or temple or spiritual home. Okay, so traditionally it's a spiritual concept where you give to your church. At a higher level, it's really about making a difference in the world. So as a result, differences will occur in your life. So you don't have to just give to the church. Maybe you have other charitable causes or other personal causes, or even in the case of business, perhaps donating your services and donating aspects of your services to people that could benefit. That's a form of tithing. Now, what's 10% is considered the standard and ecological amount, and you can do more if you'd like. However, you want to make sure it's sustainable for you. You don't want to go belly up because you are giving everything away. You need to make sure you can sustain it. So 10% is the ecological and sustainable amount. It's been shared in texts since the dawn of man. And if you don't have the ability to do that yet, you can do lower and build up to that 10% or more. However, what's really important is that it's consistent. tithing should be a regular occurrence. It should be intentional. It should be proportional to your income and the money you have available to you. And it should also come before you need. Before you meet your needs. So you pay your taxes, then tithe, and then go buy what you need to live. It seems counterintuitive. However, when you make that commitment, what you're also doing is you're telling the universe that I have more than enough for all that I need. More than enough for all that I need. So you can even build this into your business model. So how do you do that? You can build it in through charitable giving. You can set a portion of your money aside that your clients pay you into a separate bank account, a 10% bank account for things like scholarships or pro bono work. So this is probably the one thing that so often people overlook. They're like, well, I want to give to people, but I don't want to feel bad. Well, what if 10% of everything that you sell or that you earn goes into an account? And so when someone does want to work with you, you say, wow, I've got enough to cover 50% of this service or of this fee, and I'd like to gift this to you. And perhaps they might pay a portion of it. Maybe you can gift your entire service to them. You have to gauge it on a case-by-case basis. However, that gives you money that is ecological and in the system that you can actually use to help people that you want to work with. It's energetically balanced. And you can also do that with your time. You can take 10% of your time, 4 hours a week in a 40-hour work week. That's half a day. But do that and imagine the impact you can make in the world. It's absolutely massive. Most people don't even tithe or donate an hour a month. What if you started taking a little bit of time each week or a larger portion of time each month to go out of your way to help people with your products, with your services, or even with your own energy? So these are some ways that you can really start perceiving your situation differently. It really does start with belief. You've got to have the belief system that you are worth it and that you deserve to earn your money for the valuable services you provide. You also want to make sure that you're being a generous giver as well as that gracious receiver. So whether it's time or money or both, start setting something aside and being more generous with yourself. The way you want to be generous has got to be up to you. You've got to do something that feels aligned. Just like my son, he's like, I wanted to help these people, but I didn't feel right about giving money to these people. It's not up to me to judge. There was something about him that gauged the energy. And when you make sure that the money you're giving or gifting is energetically aligned, it is going to be so much better for the receiver, and it'll feel really, really good for you too. So it's simple, not always easy, but the key is to do something about it. Start donating 10% or building up to it right away. I would love to know how you are choosing to take these concepts and run with them. What are you going to incorporate into your life and into your business? Because tithing is just one major and critical aspect to elevating your abundance and your frequency. If you'd like to learn more about how to align yourself with a rich and fulfilling life, you can join us in our next Abundance Activation Intensive happening in just a few weeks. We're going to be meeting on Zoom, and I'm going to share some really special gifts with you. And you can register at, I'll make sure that my team puts the link in the chat. So you can register at the link in the chat, or even just, better, type abundance into the chat and we will get the link to you. So type abundance into the chat and we will make sure to get the registration link to you so you could join us for the Abundance Activation Masterclass in order to elevate your abundance and elevate your frequency to new heights. You're going to step out of stress, step out of overwhelm, and create a life of abundance that people would want to duplicate, that other people would dream of, and that you're truly, truly proud of. So I hope you have yourself a beautiful, beautiful day. Go live in abundance, create some magic, and allow yourself to shine, because the world is waiting for your gifts. I'll see you again very, very soon.